Imagine driving down a desolate stretch of road late at night when you spot a figure on the side, a hitchhiker. You slow down, offer a ride, and they climb in. Then just as you're about to ask their destination, you turn and they're gone, vanished, empty seat, locked doors. Did you just experience a ghost story come to life or something far more unsettling? This isn't a new phenomenon. In fact, variations of this exact scenario have been reported for centuries, across continents, evolving with technology but always maintaining that chilling core. The Vanishing Hitchhiker isn't just a campfire tale, it's a persistent urban legend, a haunting narrative embedded deep within our collective psyche. And tonight, we're going to pull back the curtain on why this story endures, what it tells us about ourselves, and whether there's any truth hidden behind the phantom. To truly understand the Vanishing Hitchhiker, we need to strip away the veneer of modern horror and look at its roots. This isn't just a simple fright, it's a rich tapestry of folklore, morality tales, and deep-seated fears that manifest in an unsettlingly consistent way. The story typically begins with a lone driver, often late at night on an isolated road. The conditions are always perfect for a sense of vulnerability, a feeling of being disconnected from safety and familiarity. The hitchhiker, in almost every iteration, appears suddenly, their presence almost ethereal, and they often carry a sense of quiet desperation or urgency. They could be a young woman in a white dress, a grizzled old man, or even a soldier. But their appearance, while consistent in its suddenness, is rarely the point. The point is their disappearance. How can someone simply vanish from a moving vehicle, leaving no trace? This question is what hooks us all, creating a gnawing unease that lingers long after the story ends. This isn't just a story about a ghost. It's a story about the boundaries of our reality, bending and breaking in the most mundane of settings. What happens when the world you thought you knew suddenly proves to be, well, a little bit less knowable? The legend's ubiquity is perhaps its most compelling feature. From the White Lady of the Canyon in California to La Chica de la Curva in Latin America, or even the numerous reports from Australia's remote outback, the narrative threads are remarkably similar. The hitchhiker is picked up, often says little, sometimes gives a cryptic warning or a prophetic message, and then, before reaching their stated destination, evaporates. What differentiates these stories, however, are the subtle cultural nuances that weave local anxieties into the fabric of the legend. In some versions, the hitchhiker is a ghostly omen, warning of impending disaster. In others, they are a lost soul seeking passage to the afterlife, and the driver unknowingly becomes their temporary guide. The warnings often revolve around road safety, the dangers of drinking and driving, or even the perils of promiscuity, a clear sign of the legend serving as a cautionary tale designed to reinforce societal norms. For instance, in many Japanese versions, the hitchhiker might warn against specific crossroads or offer a riddle that, if answered incorrectly, spells doom. These aren't just terrifying tales. They're echoes of communal fear, passed down through generations, shaped by the landscapes and cultural specificities of the people telling them. But could these tales, so seemingly supernatural, have a basis in something more grounded, more human? What if the vanishing isn't supernatural at all, but a trick of the mind, or something far more sinister disguised as the inexplicable? The truly unsettling aspect of this phenomenon is the sheer number of apparently credible witnesses. Ordinary people, not prone to flights of fancy, who swear they experienced this impossible event. They remember the face, the clothing, the chill that ran down their spine. Could such widespread accounts simply be mass hallucination, or are we dealing with something more profound? Psychologists and folklorists often point to factors like pareidolia, where the brain perceives patterns or meaning in random stimuli, especially in low-light, high-stress situations. The human mind is incredibly adept at filling in gaps. A shadow, a reflection, a moment of extreme fatigue on a long drive. These could all be interpreted by an overactive imagination as a figure. The expectation of seeing something strange on a lonely road could also contribute to a false memory being formed. Once the brain sees the hitchhiker, the subsequent disappearance is then constructed to fit the narrative of the legend already circulating. Our brains are storytellers, constantly trying to make sense of the world, and sometimes they create narratives that are more compelling than reality. But what about corroborating elements? What about the stories where a driver swears they dropped off the hitchhiker only to find out they died years ago in an accident at that exact spot? Or the tales of a scarf or a piece of clothing left behind, only to be identified by a grieving family? These details elevate the legend beyond simple misperception and into the realm of the truly inexplicable, pushing the boundaries of what we understand about perception and reality. It forces us to ask if there's a sliver of truth, a glimpse into something beyond our current understanding, that these widespread experiences are trying to convey. So what do we make of the vanishing hitchhiker? Is it merely a compelling urban legend, a sophisticated social mechanism for transmitting moral lessons in societal anxieties through generations? Or does it hint at something deeper, a fleeting glimpse into a reality just beyond our complete comprehension? The truth, as with most enduring mysteries, likely lies somewhere in between. It is a testament to the power of storytelling, a mirror reflecting our deepest fears of the unknown, of loneliness, of the sudden, unexplained rupture in the fabric of our everyday lives. It speaks to our universal need to find meaning in the chaos, to create narratives that help us process the inexplicable. And perhaps that is the enduring power of the vanishing hitchhiker, not just to scare us, but to make us question the very nature of what we see, what we believe, and what truly exists on those dark, lonely roads. To this day, the empty seat and the locked doors remain, a chilling reminder that some questions may never be fully answered. If you've ever had a strange encounter on a lonesome road, we want to hear about it. And if you're curious about other deep dives into the unexplained, the next video explores the chilling phenomenon of shadow figures reported during sleep paralysis, a topic that might just make you question the safety of your own bed.